Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. This is going to be a wig install and I have the cutest wig that I'm installing today. So what I'm going to start off with is this Carol's Daughter hair oil. This is actually my first time using it. I didn't see anything spectacular about it, but I mean, I guess it did what needed to be done. So I am installing this beautiful lavender wig and I am so excited about it. All right, so what I'm doing right now is basically just fitting the wig, making sure that it's going to fit properly. Not only that, but I'm making sure that everything is going to lay really nice. So I want to make sure that I have an idea of where everything is going to go so that I can spray accordingly and be prepared to lay it that way. So I'm going to go in with this airbrush legs and I'm going to tint it. So this was originally a 613 wig, so there was no need to dye the knots. So I want to make sure that this matches my brown skin tone, and so that is why I'm going to go in with this. I'm also going to blow dry this dry because this does transfer when wet. So I want to make sure that everything is going to look nice and it's not going to be anything just kind of dripping and falling all over the place. One of my kiddos kind of walked in the room. Guys, I love my kids and I know everybody says that, but I adore them. All right, so going in with the Got to Be Glued. Yes, I am still a Got to Be Glued girl. I am not going to be changing anytime soon. I haven't found one or even looked for one that is absolutely different. I know that I have tried different glues and I'm not a fan. None of them have hit like they should hit. So if you think you could change my mind, send me over your glue and I will definitely do a review because I haven't found one that stays and stands up to the claims that, they say. So what I'm doing now is just pushing those hairs back and then just flattening those, getting it kind of tacky. One of the things that I like about this is this just kind of gives me, I would say maybe like a little foundation before I put that hair wrap on. So I know sometimes you can go on top. And I usually do underneath and on top, but I have to do this part where it's still tacky so that I can go in with that elastic band and make sure that everything is looking the way that it should. So while you guys kind of check this out, let's chit chat for a minute. How are you guys doing? How is everything going? For me, it is mid or end of April. Oh my gosh. So it is April. And I'm excited because it's about to be May. We have some vacations planned. And I am super excited to just kind of see what the warm weather does for me this year and how beautiful I feel. I feel beautiful, absolutely beautiful right now. And I'm saying inside and out, spiritually, things feel really great for me. And so I feel like there was just a restart for me mentally, and it just feels really, really good. So I feel like this hair kind of speaks to me as far as how I feel. I feel colorful. I feel beautiful. I feel glamorous, you know what I mean? I feel authentically myself. I turned 30, and let me tell you, I really feel like I've really set in with myself. I feel like I don't feel like I'm trying to accomplish anybody else's goals. I don't feel like I'm trying to hit any unrealistic goals. And when I say realistic, I don't mean like, oh, I'm limiting myself. When I say realistic, I mean realistic for me. Like, I'm listening to what I love. What does my heart say? What does God say? And what I believe is God's best for my life. And it's feeling super good. And I am just on this journey and it feels, I keep saying that, but it does feel really good. And I'm very proud of myself. I feel like I'm proud of myself for things that are not external. I'm proud of myself for things that are internal. Being able to recognize when I haven't been happy in the past, even when I've had it all. I had top career, I had good money, and I still have all of those things. But being able to check in with myself and be like, girl, something's not right. You know what I'm saying? Something doesn't feel good. And it's time for you to do the work to figure out what that is. And to be honest, I don't feel like 100% I know that I wasn't living up to what God wanted me to be. I feel like I was successful in man's point of view and what man says makes you successful. And it didn't really feel great to me because I wasn't feeding my soul. So now I'm feeding my soul. Now I'm getting more into my creative bag, as people like to say. And I'm not doing that because I'm trying to complete something very quickly or get any accolades. I'm doing what feels good to me. So I've always loved hair. I've always loved makeup. I've always loved, you know, clothing, nails. I've always loved all of those things. So I'm excited to bring some really great content to you all regarding that, and be happy and be in a really, really positive place. So I can honestly say that I'm really, really stepping out on faith. And when I say stepping out on faith, I'm not like doing a major shift or anything. It's all mental and saying, like, I'm not trying to be in control of my life, because even when I thought that I was in control, I never really was. So yeah, that's where I'm at. One of the things that I contemplated with this wig is I was like, ooh, do I want to dye this again? Because, you know, towards the roots, it gets a little bit more silver. And it's because I did not want to have the knot to be purple. I have seen, you know, many wigs in the past where it's like, oh, it started as a 613, but then once that dye gets on those knots, it's not the most beautiful thing. And so I said, you know, I'm going to be very intentional about that. And so that meant me kind of being a little bit lighter on how I dyed this unit, but I actually feel like it's beautiful. I feel like it's kind of gradient. And so I'm going in with this hot comb. Look, love the blow, right? If you don't, if you know, you know with that blow. It really don't do, I won't say it won't do anything, but you know, I'm used to the blow. All right. Listen, that's that Easter Sunday blow. That's that. It's you got church in the morning blow with that hot comb for sure. All right. Look, my husband just walked in, or he's sitting probably on the other end of the table, in my other desk. And I love getting a chance to kind of talk to him in these videos and just feel their presence. So going back to what makes me happy, I just have been feeling like being attentive, you know, being attentive to the ones that I love and, you know, focusing on them. Sometimes I feel like, you guys know that I'm a software engineer, and sometimes I feel like I've had to sacrifice relationships in order to accomplish the goals that I've had. And it hasn't been, you know, I don't regret it, but it's definitely something that I think about. I remember several times, you know, not even being able to, you know, get up from my desk even after, you know, business hours and saying like, look, I got to focus on this. I got to, you know, build this build up my portfolio so that I have more opportunities, you know. And I just decided, you know, I'm going to focus on the things that are intangible. Like, a job is a job, a career is a career. I can get a new career, I can get a new job, and at any point in time, I can get all of those things, but I can't replace my kids. I can't replace my family. And I want to make sure that I'm giving so much to them, because I don't know. I just kind of hit this place, you guys. And tell me if you guys have been this way as well. And it's kind of like, I can't just chase the bag no more. You know, and really it's not just chasing the bag. Like, I wasn't doing anything that was like unnecessary. Everything that I did, I truly believe it was necessary, and it put me and my family in a different space, a space where a lot of people that I know are not even in. And so now it's just time for me to think about, you know, what I want and what my kids want, and being, you know, super present. You know, I even feel like when it came to just simple things like making sure that I'm putting my all into creating like new and creative meals. Like, for a while, I feel like I was cycling meals for a while just to kind of get something on the table. And so now I'm like, now let's get more creative. And I'm like falling in love with myself, y'all. And I don't say that like so cliche. I mean, like, sometimes, you know, I wake up in the morning, I'm like, girl, you got it, okay? When being in a male dominated industry can, you know, give you imposter syndrome. It can make you feel like, man, do I even have it? You know, constantly facing, you know, opposition all the time. You know, it was just so much for me. And so now I'm not choosing to focus on those things. Now I'm choosing to say, you know what? I'm waking up and I'm doing the best that I can as an engineer, as well as I'm waking up and doing the best that I can as a mom. But I come first. And well, God comes first, then me, then, you know, my marriage, then my, you know, my kids. And I say that in that way because if me and my husband aren't good, my kids ain't good. We are a united force. So I have to make sure that we are in the best place possible so that we can continue to show up in the unit that is supportive of my kids in the way that, you know, that we need to be. So I know this is a lot. This is a deep conversation. And I am just happy. So now I'm just getting these baby hairs together. And, you know, I'm just, you know, making sure everything's good. I always do another layer after I do my baby hairs. I'm not using any pomade. I'm just using this spray. Sometimes I do use pomade, but, you know, sometimes I don't like it because I feel like it kind of builds up, but this spray can build up too. And if you see this wig in any of my other videos, I feel like what I was doing, what did cause some buildup, and it was like kind of wigging, and I don't like that. But when I first put this baby on, she was banging. You know, they be that thing banging. This wig was, she was popping. So, yeah. I'm jamming. I love this shirt. This shirt that I have on is an anime shirt and it's super cute. It has so many cute colors and it just kind of reminds me of myself. So, yeah, I'm about to go in and I'm about to start flat ironing this hair and making sure everything is all good. So leave in the comments some of the things that you are kind of working through. You know, personally, maybe it's something that you kind of had a revelation of. And let me know if you resonate with any of the things that I said in this video because when I tell y'all, as soon as I started living like this, I tell you it was like a big weight that was lifted off of my shoulders. And I'm so grateful to God. So just going in and flat ironing. By the way, these flat irons are like, they are like 10 years old. I know that sounds wild, but they are the only ones that I have that do not have a hot plate on the other end. So, but they still working. They still doing the thing. Whew. Yeah, y'all. So I don't know what I'm making for dinner tonight, but I'm thinking I'm gonna make some macaroni salad. I think I'm going to use some crumbled up salmon, and when I say crumbled, I mean literally just like a baked long salmon. Crumble that up and put that into some macaroni. Add some onions and some bell peppers and some relish and some mayo and season that up real good. Make it super fresh. And I think I'm going to do some baked beans, some sausages, and some hamburgers. And I'm going to make it a easy night. Look, I don't know about y'all macaroni salad, but mine's be bussin'. Mine's be bussin', okay? So I'm excited about that. So I'm just getting this hair kind of pressed out as much as I can. I had to go over this several times, but it's okay. Just to kind of get the crinkle out. But yeah, y'all, so let me know what has been y'all hair color. So y'all know my natural hair is orange. And when I tell y'all, I've been loving that hair color. I just had to put my hair up a little bit. I only put my hair up to make sure that I'm not damaging it. I want to make sure. And I know that I know that people say like, oh, color damages your hair. If you don't know how to take care of your hair, it's going to damage your hair. But you can have healthy hair and it be colored hair. You need to be trimming your ends regularly. You need to be moisturizing your hair. And I mean, in conditioners, like deep conditioners, don't leave them on overnight and stuff like that. I used to do that, but it's not actually good for your hair. Making sure that you aren't that you're using moisturizing products, and it doesn't have to be heavy products, especially if you're going to wear your hair out and you don't want, you know, heavy oils and stuff like that. So oil doesn't necessarily equate to moisture. So yeah, y'all, this is coming. We are coming to an end of this video, and I just want to thank y'all. I was jamming in this video, but let me know what you think about this wig. I am out of here. Bye.